Lord Jesus Christ according to Matthew. Glory to you, Christ. When John heard in prison that what the Messiah was doing, he sent words by his disciples and said to him, "Are you the one who is to come, or are we to wait for another?" Jesus answered them, "Go and tell John what you hear and what you see. The blind receive their sight. The lame walk, the lepers are cleansed, the deaf hear, and the dead are raised, and the poor have good news brought to them. And blessed is anyone who takes no offense at me." As they went away, Jesus began to speak to the crowds about John. "What did you go out into the wilderness to look at? A reed shaken by the wind? What then did you go out to see? Someone dressed in soft robes? Look, those who wear soft robes are in royal palaces. What then did you go out to see? A prophet? Yes, I tell you, and more than a prophet, this is the one about whom it is written, 'See, I am sending my messenger ahead of you, who will prepare your way before you.' Truly, I tell you, among those born of women, no one has arisen greater than John the Baptist. Yet the least in the kingdom of heaven is greater than he." This is the gospel of the Lord. Praise to you, Lord Christ. Please be seated. Back in 2006, in Columbus, Ohio. Yes, Columbus. We were kind of the epicenter of the Episcopal Church because Catherine Jeffords Schori was elected presiding bishop. And this was a time of stress, arguments, such in the Episcopal Church. A lot of conversations about sexuality, a lot of conversations about what the church is in the future. And Bishop Schori went from diocese to diocese and sat down with clergy for a listening session, not unlike what we had last week downstairs. And, being the first female presiding bishop and having, some clergy that were kind of, they came to this session a little irritated, kind of, maybe a few of them baited for bear. And they sat down, and Bishop Jeffords Schori looked around, and she said, "So, tell me what signs of the kingdom you are seeing." Well, I don't know what question they did expect, but I have on good word from some folks who were wiggling in their chairs a little bit as clergy back then. That wasn't the question they were expecting. What signs of the kingdom are you seeing? And there was kind of this awkward shifting silence for a while. And then someone said, "Well, we have a food pantry, and here's what's happening with that." And she listened, and they all listened, and she said, "Wow, that is the kingdom. That is beautiful. And your food pantry sounds really similar to one that I just heard about in Texas, one I just heard about in Arizona, one I just heard about in Oregon. And one by one, these clergy started saying, oh, well, this is going on, and my church is supporting this. And she's like, that's fantastic. Wait, say more about that. And she listened more, and then she said, you know, that sounds a little bit like something I heard about in Connecticut. And with each story, and each clergy person there who was present said something, she affirmed and lifted up that ministry, and also said, you're not alone. It's going on over here, too, and over there. And see, there is the kingdom. There is the work that we've been given to do. Because that work is our sign. We are making the signs as we follow Christ. Now, last week, we dealt with some really beautiful, life-giving questions. Things like, what would encourage you to invite other people to be a part of this community? And what do you think our priorities ought to be in the future? So I'm going to add that third question, that Bishop Jeffrey Shorey question. What signs of the kingdom are you seeing? Because I believe that exchange that John the Baptist and Jesus have this morning in Advent on a Sunday that is supposedly the joyful Sunday of Advent. Wait a minute, John the Baptist is in prison. Really is at the root of our faith. And not just of our faith, but our expressions of that faith. Look at that question again. John the Baptist's whole life has been to be a bridge between the old prophets and Jesus. Now, if you've ever tried to be a bridge between any two groups of people, oh, it's hard. It's hard. But he's done it. And now he's paying for it. And you see, prison back then, you only ate if people brought you food. It's likely that John the Baptist was sort of in a pit somewhere. And he knows, he's no dummy, he knows he's not going to be going back out into the wilderness. It's the end of his life. And he just, in that moment of humanity, says, can you get a message to Jesus for me? Can you ask him? Now, Jesus doesn't say, tell him I am, right? What does he say? Not a rhetorical question, friends, really. What does he say? Somebody read it to me. Tell him what you see and what you hear. Not tell him what you think. Not tell him what you speculate. Tell him what you see and hear. Now, he has comforted the afflicted in John the Baptist. And then he turns around and afflicts the comfortable. That's the awkward second part of that. He turns around to the people and says, so, what'd you come out here for anyway? All you who got baptized by John, did you come out to see something delicate that was just going to pushover? Did you come and think that this was going to get you in the upper echelons of society? This is prophecy. This is hard work, but amazing work. Work that at the end of your life, you will say, all right, I'm ready. I keep on hearing Jesus this morning, and I'd never quite heard it this way, maybe come and ask us, be it back in 2006 or in 1956 or whatever, saying, so, what did you expect when you were baptized? Did you expect a nice party with your family and a cake and a beautiful robe that's been passed down for 4 generations? I mean, that's all beautiful and makes family. But boy, we've taken some radical vows, people. We have taken vows to work for this reign of God breaking in. And we may not always feel like we have this perfect pipeline to the divine. But what do you see? What do you hear? And in this community of faith, what is that core? Tell them what you see. A food pantry that is serving more and more people in Licking County. A food pantry that, because of your generosity, is going to be able to get the freezers they need and new things that they need and help more people. Because I don't know about you, but when I went to the store last week, eggs were $4 a dozen. I remember when they were $1 a dozen. And if I'm noticing that, you better believe that those who are really hungry and really in need everything that we can help. That's something we can see. That's something we can hear. Tell them what you see and hear. 1,900 people walking, running, coasting maybe, to support the Mid-Ohio Food Bank. And a small group of amazingly active people making that happen. Those things started in this community. Tell me some other things that have started in this community. Let's see, Healing Arts Mission. Haiti, did that kind of start here? Okay, again, not a rhetorical question. Talk to me. What else has started here? Great Granville Garage Sale. What else? Say what?
Welsh Hill School.
Welsh Hill School. Recycling in Granville. Woo! These are big things. And you think you're a small church. Come on. Let me tell you what I see and hear. I see and hear a holy incubator for the work of the kingdom. And that this is a community that doesn't just take comfort and, oh, you know, we're baptized, we come to church every Sunday, we're okay, we're fine. You kind of have this restlessness, this holy hyperactivity to start something, to make something happen. And I think a lot of people in Granville and a lot of people in Newark and people in Haiti would be able to say, let me tell you what I see. Let me tell you what I hear. Friends, I believe that this is a part of the essential identity and DNA of this parish. You're a holy incubator for beautiful things, for the mission and work of the inbreaking of the reign of God. And an incubator is a beautiful thing to be. Beautiful, life-giving, Jesus-following way to be. So this morning, as you hear John asking one of the last questions he asks in his life, hear it. Yes, this may sound a little startling, as one of the last questions we may ask too. Because at the end of life, I think all of us are saying, okay, what did I do that was of value, was of mission, was of need, was of calling? Everything else just kind of falls away. What did I help bring in that was of value and of need? If we ask that question all the time, then we will have great comfort in community and great comfort at any time of our lives. We're invited. You've said yes. Keep on saying yes. Keep on bringing in that glorious, beautiful, life-giving, incubated reign of God.